Welcome back everybody, it's 8 o'clock on the 9th of August. Today is a Saturday. I hope you're all enjoying your weekends. How's it going everybody? Like I say, welcome everyone in the chat. Hello Apollonia, as usual. First, Fernicar, usually tied. Mr. Fernicar, Battlecruiser operational, liked and subscribed. Full Dive Media, welcome. So glad you could all join us. All aboard the WAN train indeed. Right, so let's huddle in. Today we're going to be releasing some workflows. I've got quite a lot of them. They're going to require a little bit of a cleanup, but I think we're going to be okay. So we got text to image and image, text to image, image to image, with Lora, without Lora, you know, all kinds of things, with vision, without vision, all these different things. Still haven't even looked at video really. If I'm being honest, if you want to get good quality, you need bigger than a 4090 it seems, unless you want to make like extremely short animations. And so my interest seems to focus back in on the image generation. And like I say, if you've been following us in the Discord, don't forget, if you're watching live or if you're watching later, there's a link in the Discord description. Even join us. Let's take a look at this one. Can we go full screen on this thing? Okay, so it's too big for my screen. Alright, that's number one. And even when you zoom in, it looks good. Okay, this is my latest Lora trained on Thora, which is an old one from SDXL, and even, well, I never released the 2.1 version. It's going to get released. We're going to release it today, and I'm going to show you my new sort of, you know, where to get my Loras and all that good stuff. So that'll be fun. I've already put one up, and then I'm going to follow the same template. So you're going to get the E&H modules. You're going to get the prompt lists. You're going to get the Loras. You're going to get the, you know, the thing on the front page saying what the hell this is. And maybe some more. I was thinking I might actually just include workflows in the Lora project on Hugging Face. So then it's like, oh, so what I've done is I put a bunch of images up there, and they should have the workflow in, but I'm going to put some workflows up as well. Anyway, lots of images. So what's going on here? Dragon Diffusion, Gordon's alive. Hello, Dragon. So what's going on here? We've basically got 3 different prompt enhancers running. Now, they're a bit hit and miss because they're limited by what the Lora was trained to be able to do. So, depending on what you're prompting and what's going on, you're going to see various different results. So, this is my best example. So, I'm using the SDXL trigger for Thora. And, sneaking or in cover is top left, establishing or wide shot is top right, in combat or action is bottom left, and then the normal output is bottom right. So if you were using the model normally, you would have gotten the bottom right image, but with these enhancers on the same seed and prompt, you get the other 4 as well, and they're like dynamic enhancers, so it's like, it doesn't really matter what you put in. We were stress testing it to see like what would actually happen depending on what the inputs are. Obviously, if they're well aligned, you get good scenes like this. There she is. The only thing is that this particular Lora, it has all of the very well trained backgrounds, different action poses. All of this stuff is in the Lora, okay? But I didn't pay any attention to her outfit, so it's always different. Now I think we can actually improve on that tonight with a little idea we came up with in the chat on Discord. And the idea is that these E&H modules, okay, at the moment they're just putting out a prompt so you can just plug it in. But what if the E&H put out in JSON, and then the JSON contained an array of 4 prompts, and then we make a node that can read that JSON and, you know, output the 4 prompts as 4 output nodes. That's what I'm thinking. Make it rigid like that. So we have a special version of the E&H system prompt and it outputs in JSON 4 prompts. And then in that way, the same vision input prompt input was used to do the 4 different types of prompting. You see what I mean? Or the 3, I guess there's only 3 here. The 3 different types of prompting, you know, wide shot, action shot, stealth shot. It's like a close-up, but not really. That was the idea, and then I thought, that might work better. That might work better. So it's like a multi-output prompt enhancer. And then you can configure what the multi-outputs actually do yourself with an LLM. We've done it with Gemini, works. We've done it with Claude, works. We tried it with GPT-5 and the results were suboptimal. But it did work when we tried to do it, you know, we gave him a second go and it did work better. I'm not using it now though. I'll just use what I'll just use what I use. But if you don't have Sonnet, Gemini is fine. And like I say, I think that's probably what most people will end up using. Anyway. I do recommend Sonnet though. So let's see. I also trained a new airship model because Thora exists in a world of floating fortresses and airships. There's even a book out. I need to improve it though. It's not very good. It's a bit like it's early AI. So when because all of my books are like learning materials, there's like a course attached to the book. So to teach you how to write books like that. But anyway, that's a sidebar. These actually came out pretty good. If you have a look at them, the top left and the bottom right, well, they're all in there. It's just, see the top right one? It's got like a plane. There's no planes. You see what I mean? So that's like the base, ignoring my training data. But all of these features are from the dataset, but it's much, much higher quality now. It actually looks really good. The thing is, the way this dataset was done, SDXL allowed something called Lora Release, which you could train separated models all at once. And so what's happened here is, I think I have like 10 or 12 different classes of airship, and they've all been blended into one. They've been blurged. There was also quite a photorealistic bias with early prompt enhancers I was trying to bake. But if you zoom in on it, it's actually not photorealistic at all. It's just so high res that it starts to look that way when you get shading that looks this good. You know, it's actually like the sunrise. That's a bit more anime. You know what I mean? But it's too much like a plane. So I go back to the drawing board with this, and I think what I need to do is basically recaption it and maybe only train one class of ship at a time or something, because if you train them all at once you just get like a Borg. So I'll go back to basics on that one. But as you can see, yeah, see, that's the data set. That's what actually was trained for those last airships. That's like an example of data set ground truth. You know, I'm actually training this. So when you think about it, yeah, it got it well. I guess I wish I could show you the exact red ship because it was much more similar. But so anyway, like I say, I think to eliminate the outfit wandering and the background wandering, because this works really well. You know, she's in cover, she's hiding. Wide shot, establish. Action, more intense, and then standard output, right? Still an enhanced output, but standard output, right? From I've got my image, text-to-image enhancer, and it's customized for the Lora. You know what I mean? All of these have been customized for the Thora Laura. Okay. Now here, what I've done is I've tried to see how extreme we can go by giving it prompts, which is basically like, two robots in front of a portal. And we've ended up with some kind of backstory for her from her early days as a recruit or something. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And here's another more extreme example. So there's no person in the prompt. So the enhancer has just made an empty scene. You see what I mean? With various different... it's tried to make a storm. Because there were rules, you know. If she's if she's so small, just don't even bother rendering her. But then what it ends up doing is giving us this, you know, I guess she's running in the street or something, I don't know. Again, tried it with various different, you know, environments and things. I posted that twice today. But yeah, you can see that having the 3 enhancers for the different scenes, it really works. But like I say, this Laura doesn't have consistent clothing. It just has the identity, and a lot of training was done for the backgrounds. Dragon says, I'm just building ControlNet workflows. Oh, yeah. I saw, actually, I've been trying to get my hands on the WAN Impaint low noise. I've got it, actually. It might be on the hard drive. I might be able to copy it over. But I'm doing a bit of an experiment. It probably won't work, so probably won't do it on the show. Yeah, you're probably doing the same thing. This is the Outpost Laura. So for the normal enhancer, it's put her in Outpost. But for the rest, it's kind of it's allowed the universe to override it. It doesn't always work. You get some random ones with different aspects. It's trying to. I was improving the thing as I was going along though through this. So yeah. We tried doing John Wick prompts and exchanging John Wick for her trigger. You know what I mean? Just simple stuff like that. Actually was working pretty funny. Oh my god. And I think before that we were just messing around with image to image, which is something we're going to come back to in a bit. Got some really nice images out of the Chirona Laura, even though her face is quite low quality because it was actually like face swapped in Flux. And this one's just kind of crazy. I think if I remember right, if you turn this up too hard, the face goes all cooked. But maybe that's not a thing in this model. Oh yeah, true. I never showed this one on the show. When I look back through all of the random generations, there were a lot of really, really random ones that we missed. So here's another one. Dude on a horse. Another surfing one. I like that. I love the Cyber Society crab. Head crab. Also, excellent images, everybody. Everybody's been making some crazy. Also, what the hell is Bong Tangent? And why don't I have it? Oh, yeah. This is an image I've been trying to get because there's only one example of it in the dataset. Well, there's a couple actually. I tell a lie. Yeah, see, this is another one. Consistent character from Boyo. Nice amount of noise. Yeah, just a quick reminder. This was Thora in 2023, August 2023. So 2 years ago. She was a 2.1 project which hadn't even gone anime yet. I think we used her as a base. You know, there's obviously more images than this one, but you can see why the outfit is so crazy, because like the source data is just absolutely, you know, this outfit is just not, it's not even attempting to be close. But it does end up making these cool sort of science fiction type outfits. I don't know which one, you know what I mean? Like, maybe she's got more than one. So, oh my god, what's going on here? Got like diamond encrusted face. Yeah, I think we were like infusing some pretty strange prompts to see, you know, what would happen if we put different things in there. Oh yeah, Broken Boyo again. Nice. Nice image. Classic. Alright, let's get this out. Right, we already looked at Airship. So what else have I been Thora 2. So we probably looked at a whole bunch of these already, but it's worth the gallery. New music. Yeah, there is new music coming, but this is an old one that's playing right now. This is my Cowboy Bebop tribute album. So this is like a mimic of one of the tracks. I don't know. They weren't like based on them or anything. I was just vibing and finding tracks that reminded me of the same feeling or whatever. So some of them kind of almost have it in them. Yeah, it's all my music. Yeah. All the music that you listen to on the show is my radio station, and it's all on Spotify. I think we're all caught up now. But I've got 3 more albums coming. I've got a house, drum and bass, another funk, 2 more funk albums, and maybe like an EP of new metal. Because I was experimenting today with what was it called? I was experimenting today with I can't remember what I was doing. I need to drink more coffee. Yeah. I was experimenting all day with biwas. I probably said that wrong, but it's like a Edo period Japanese guitar. So I was experimenting with that and like trying to blend it with a whole bunch of different genres to see what it sounded like. I put them all, if you're interested, there's like a free album almost in Discord right now. It's like, can I drag this in? Yeah. That's alright, isn't it? Yeah, if I go down to Fresh Tunes, you'll see that I have been a bit busy. Basically, that's a biwa. And I done funk biwas that wasn't very strong, it's just a melody, and then I got like actual biwa music generated, and then I put that through, and then I started blending it, and we blended it with new metal for fun, and we did a whole bunch of stuff, but in the end I always comes back to Chicago. Apolloni says Bong Tangent and Sampler Schedulers are in the ResLife Clownshark nodes. Update them and all there. I've never even heard of it. Jesus. I've been searching. Kirk says I've been searching to build an AI sequencer for Eurorack. Well, I think you probably want to start with Ryan on the Insides nodes, because he's got lots of advanced audio, and I think he's got MIDI support, and that might be, I don't know, that might be what you're looking for, who knows. Has this thing been all the way around yet? See, I'm testing sneaking, establishing, combat, standard. That's what it is every time. And we're just giving it different prompts to see what it does. Yeah, pretty good, it's pretty reliable. Seems like it's going round and round and round, but the thing is, it should be showing single images, so if it's still showing grids, we haven't seen them all yet, they're just similar. Some of them are pretty good. Obviously I've saved all of these separately, it's just quicker to show you them as they came out. But like I said, the limitation of this system is that each image is like a separate LLM vision prompt, so, you know, to get any consistency is actually pretty hard. It's the same seed, but the prompt's completely different, and if the character didn't have a like a specific way to call out the uniform, and if you didn't actually specify that, because obviously we're doing a LLM-based enhancer with vision input and all kinds of stuff. See, now we've gotten to the SDXL prompts. So the SDXL prompts are going into the enhancers, and then it's giving us, like I said, you can see the variation. It's kind of funny. Sometimes it's consistent, but it's luck, guys. It's luck. Do you know what I mean? If it's ever consistent, it's luck. And look, see the patch changes. All these little details change. Ah, there we go. We've done it. Now it's just showing the full-sized image. They still look great. A lot of these are like very usable. Some of them have like little problems that you might fix. I would say if you were going to actually do like a narrative or whatever and try to illustrate like this, you probably need to actually train in a specific weapon. You know, you need the character. It's not just training in the character. You've got to train in her signature gun or something. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just any sword, it's her sword. You know, like that pistol has to be her pistol, or at least be like a recognizable type of gun which is legit. You know, it can't just be like generic submachine gun, or it's got to be, it's kind of like part of the gig, I think. Nice. He's done a really good job, considering, because the training data wasn't very good. It'd probably be a good idea to actually take the best images and then retrain a tighter data set. Oh, because these are better. It's just they're higher quality images than what was trained. So that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking, this is an opportunity to get a free upgrade on the quality. The question is whether it will still learn as well, because obviously a lot of information went into making it like this good. So the question is, you know, will it actually make it worse? But I suspect it won't. I suspect it'd make it better, because you'd be training on a higher quality input, in theory. But yeah, it's just going to keep rotating through the different shots. Alright. It's just like, what is it, just going through them by name, so now they're all in cover. Yeah. But yeah, I will say that like it really did learn. You know, like I said, I did like this whole thing. I made a big deal about explaining it. Half of the data set was not tagged with the person. It was anime in the background, a room with an airlock or a corridor. So there was a lot of what I call regularization training, where those are images which they're in the same style. It's like kind of not really regularization, but the point is the backgrounds are all being trained. It's like half the data set is just empty backgrounds in the same style as what you see in the rest of the data set. It's like a sort of a little bit of a trick, but it gives the model a better idea of how to create the world. So I think it's a good idea, worth doing. Oh, we only did a couple of spy suit. See, that's actually a really strong one, but she keeps on making weapons. Let's get the one with the guns. There's that one, there's that one. That's a good one. I wonder if we can get... Oh, that was when we were comparing... Yeah, so this is an interesting one. If you weren't here yesterday... So the top left is, you know, no enhancer. So, you know, it's text to image with the Lora loaded and the trigger in front of the prompt. But, you know, and it is a prompt that it was trained on as well, come to think of it. Right, so it does have, it knows what we're saying. And then what we did was we said, okay, now Gemini, make us a prompt enhancer that will make it more like the trained Lora. So this is what we got from Gemini, obviously from its system prompt, and then we got this one from Sonnet. So both of these are like winners. Perfect. You know, it's put her in the correct outfit in the correct setting using the all these elements. And then, yeah, GPT-5 failed. Kind of didn't really know what to do, but we did fix it in the end. Let's see. Twos here, I'm doing twos. Go back to fours. Do we not have like a recent one? Is that the most recent one? Tried doing like jungle punk, so like extreme. What do you call it? It's like sort of testing the limit of what it's going to let you get away with. Some things just don't quite work. I think I probably want to take it from here. That one is pretty good. It doesn't really show what's happening, so I think probably that one or that one. Where's the label? Huh? Oh, I bet you can't move it either. Oh. Alright, we'll move everything. Yeah. It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like an awkward shape. Just stick it there-ish. Move that. Doesn't really matter though. Okay. Enough mucking about. So what we got here? We got my thing with all the different Thora enhancers. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll call this one Thora T2I ENH grid. Yeah, it's probably what we'll call it. Okay, that's one. And then what I'm thinking is, and let's just make sure it works, I'm sure it does, but then I think probably, yeah, should probably what I can, I reckon delete all of the stuff except for like the basic one. So that's Epic, the basic one. I think this is the basic one. Yeah. So just, how does that come out? Does it look? Yeah, it looks fine. All right, we'll just use that and delete everything else. Bit of a weird setup, I know, just uncomplicated. Because the idea is that you can disconnect that and just use the text box. Just put that on there so you can see what was coming out of the randomizer, which usually is like not much actually. So these enhancers are like a super blessing because you can take old prompt lists that were useless, because look, that doesn't have anything in it. But because it knows how to implement my Lora keywords from the prompt list, it can turn this into, oh, the character, blah, 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 oh, in the background, mega city, you know what I mean? So it'll like take on both aspects. Yeah, so that's what it did with it. I think there's a lot of scope for this, but the problem I had was I'm using the same thing every time. You know, like, so each one was doing it. So even though it's the same seed and prompt, it's like a different run. So you need to do it in one. I think we can probably end up addressing that. A little proof of concept. Right, it's not a grid anymore. Okay. And then, of course, to make this just standard, and they're calling it A22B, aren't they? Isn't that what they call it in all of the model names? Let me have a look quick. A14B. They call it A14B. One A14B, T2I, E and H. And then of course take my Lora out because I'm not about that. And then put my generic T2I base. There. De-Lora'd, de-specialized, I guess. This is woman wearing taxi blah blah blah. And obviously if you don't even want to enhance it, then you just connect it there. So, you know, oh, I guess it is still enhanced, isn't it? So I should probably do another one without the enhancer next. So like slowly rolling back all the advanced features until we get a basic workflow. It's kind of fun. Right, so save that. Okay, so next, make it even more basic. So get rid of the enhancer completely. Oh no, it still said Thora at the beginning there. A14B. I suppose you should probably plug something else in though. Oh yeah, that's right. You just type it in here now. Get rid of my thing. Get rid of my thing. We can leave the Loras in, but now we've got to get rid of my nodes. Get the project path. Get rid of the aspect size. I think that's about. I mean, I guess we could go back to a different model. But that's just too much. All this basic. This is gonna be terrible. What's this? 19-year-old goth girl with I think this is from the community, is it not? Let's test it. And then we can move on to image to image. Oh yeah, by the way, while you were sleeping, this is a new feature we're gonna do every now and then. I'll try and make it only the weekends because it'll get like it'll be the whole show. Let's see. Hello everyone. So anyway, we're about a quarter of the way through, and it's time for something I like to call suspense is building as I try to find it. GitHub Hugging Face channel, which is something we have over on the Discord. Now, you'd be surprised, okay? While we were sleeping, lots of stuff came out. Now, some of this didn't come out in the last few days, some of it's in the last few weeks, but most of it is new. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little struggle session together. Don't worry, it won't take long. I'm just going to read them out and explain what they are, because some of them are actually kind of big. So we're going to start here on August 9th. Alright. So, the Denk released ControlNet depth for T2V with WAN 2.2 T2V. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly. He also did an HED. He also did a TI2V 5 billion for Canny, HED, and depth. Okay. So the difference being there, you know, one of them was the 14B full weight, the other one was the smaller one, right? Now, also, Alibaba Pi, or Alibaba PAI, I don't really know. They've released WAN 2.2 Fun A14B control. Now, that has pose, it has following a dot, it has all kinds of stuff. It's got all of the control nets, but it's 28 gigabytes. So if you can run it in FP8 or Q8, it's going to be fine, but those weights aren't out, so, you know, just remember that. Obviously, you're in the cloud, you'll be able to clone it and have fun. It's complete, so it comes with the full stack, you know, it's not like a Lora or it's like the full back end. It's a VAE, clip, the whole lot, but it looks like only the low denoise, or the low noise model is what we need for image generation. So I snagged that, and I'm going to see if we can just sneak it into our workflows. Like, it would be nice if we could JGUF these ourselves, and I've been trying to think about that. Okay, so la-di-do. We also have the WAN 2.2 Fun inpainting model, which you guessed it, inpainting. Also, there's another vase test out, but this one is bloody massive. So again, some of these are too big to run, even on a 4090, but they're FP16. So if they're working nicely, people will JGUF them. So it's all... Patience is our greatest weapon, but don't confuse that with hesitancy. Right. In LLM news, Quen 3 4 billion Thinking 2507 came out. Also, Quen image is now in JGUF weights from City96, our man of the hour. He does great models. If you've never heard of him, he does like all the good ones. Quen also released Quenoda 30 billion A3B instruct. Probably too big to run locally, but well, I don't know what you're running, do I? Quen image Comfy UI. Okay, so same as the JGUF, but not JGUF. WAN 2.2 rapid all-in-one. Now this is an interesting one because it, as it says, it's a checkpoint that has everything all in one. So you don't have like a low noise and a high noise or whatever. It's just one thing, which is kind of nice if you're trying to work in the cloud and you can't get all the working parts to interface. It gives you something where you can just take this and use that. But yeah, worth checking out. Like I said, the thing I lament with these things is they're all like 18 to 30 gigabytes a go. So it's like, yeah, check it out, guys. I'm like giving you like a terabyte long shopping list. But yeah, Quen Coda 30B A3B Instruct GGUF. This actually has a chance of working on your machine, and it's unsloth, which means it's had its censorship layers stripped. Higgs Audio V2 Generation 3B bass got completely past me. I didn't even hear that it came out. I heard people talking about it, but I didn't see that the weights were out, so there's that as well. Also, this is actually a pretty big one that we have completely ignored. Flux Crea Blaze came out, and might have only been today, to be honest, but could have been yesterday. It's Flux Schnell for Crea, so it's a 4-step and 8-step distilled version. But it is the full model, it's not a patch, it's the full model, right? And then here is the GGUF version of the thing before, from Belisarius, another man of the hour. And then finally, Kitten TTS Nano came out, which a lot of people missed. If you remember, I did that really simple TTS, which was like, hello, my name is a robot, like that. That was 10 megabytes. And this is really good. And it's 25 megabytes. So it's the world's smallest high quality TTS at the moment. So it's worth mucking about with if you like mucking about with TTS like I do. Okay. And then thank you, Apollonia, for dropping the ResLife nodes, which gives you, what was it called? Bong something? It's a bunch of new stuff for Comfy UI samplers. So if you're in Comfy UI, this is more applicable than a lot of the other stuff. But I have to give it the quick rundown. See, it took 10 minutes, and this is just today. Oh my god. So I'm not going to commit to doing this every week, actually. It'll take over the entire show. Right. But anyway, check out the GitHub Hugging Face. Oh yeah, and also, I tell you what, on the same sort of note right here, if you take a look at the AI signals feed, I'm often posting new stuff up here. Some of it is a bit crazy, you know, but it's all AI related, you know what I mean? It's all AI related. And you might find that there's occasionally something in here that's like applicable to what we're doing. There you go, text to video for 2.2 with Loras on foul every now and then, but I'm thinking. So. Right then, that's all I got for that little segment. Let's get back to the main stage. Right, let's chuck this out the way and look at the result of that prompt. So using my Wang A14B T2i. Now I still think you need my, you know, my aspect node, but this is correct, so it's fine. But yeah, there you go. 1248 by 1664. Could be, the face could be better, but there's no Lora. Alright? There's many Loras that will improve that. Right. I actually think maybe we can get a bit more res. Should we just try something out here? I haven't tried this out. I want to try 1920 by, it probably will make it skewed, like, you know, like weird, like stretch her out. But let's try it. It can only go badly, right? It's funny, I tested the high D noise or the high noise model when it first came out, but I never tested it with like a 2-step handover and a 2-step refine. I never did that. So it might be worth mucking about with that. I think that when we tried it, it didn't work, but I don't remember exactly what happened now. So I feel like it might be faster because you could do a 2-step high D, high noise and then 4 steps of refine, and it would be a total of 6 steps. I don't know. It probably wouldn't work. Probably look crap. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so it did kind of stretch her out a bit. Do you see what I mean? It's made her a lot taller. But because obviously 1088 by 1920 would be 9:16 aspect ratio, right? I do think it stretched her out quite a bit. And also, how tall are those boots? It's a little bit strange. Knee-high boots, guys. Knee-high boots. I mean, that is a knee, so... Face is a little bit better. A little bit, I think. Alright. I think there's actually like another magic resolution we can use. Don't tell me I've got no images anywhere. Aha! 1152 by 2048. Let's try that. 1152. 1152 by 20. What? 1152. I think my brain spazzed out there. By 2048. Oi. 2048. I already saved this, didn't I? Yeah, I already saved it, so I can screw it up now. There's some stuff that we haven't tried yet which needs to be done, and I've got 12 minutes. I'm on the clock. Damn it, I'm late. Takes about a minute. It's about a minute, just under a minute. Straight to 2K, or you know, pretty impressive. This is one thing I like about my aspect size. The aspect size, yeah, I don't have to do a lot. I can just say do the thing. And it'll just do the thing. I set it up for the preset 122, which is 1536 by 1536. So if we say 9:16. With a 32, alright, it might be slightly different. I think I might have forgotten to do the 32 part. There we go, look, it's actually a little bit better. Do you see how that slight change has taken away the stretchiness? I think it's because it's brought her hands forward. Let's have a look at the detail on the face. The eyes are definitely more detailed. It is sharper. It's not like, you know, I can't say it's perfect because it's not. But it is better, and it's because of the fact that it fits onto that grid. So should we try it with the 32 now? See what we actually get. Alright, it's going to tell us under here anyway, so let's see if dividing by 32 gives us, it might give us a slightly different amount. It should be the same. But just because it divides by 64 doesn't always mean it will divide by 32, and the reason is because one side is often an odd number, depending on how much shrinking there is. So it gets complicated. But the computer can do it easy, so you don't need to do that. Okay, so the obvious thing that we never did was tiling. That was numero uno. Okay, so yeah, it's the same. It's the same. And we just get a different girl, and she is of good quality. It is already 1080p. Do you know what I mean? There's no need to upscale. The hands look good. The teeth look good. The eyes are okay, you know, could do with a bit of a touch up, but that's nice. Right. So how do we go from here? So I reckon tile BAE. Decode first. Now there's probably magic numbers for this. I'm just going to go with defaults at first. It's a fiddle. It's a big fiddle. Alright, that's one. I wonder. Sometimes I mess around with the tile size to change the speed, but I just want to see it working and what the quality is at the moment with the defaults. Sometimes you might do like a tiled input, but this is text to image. You see what I mean? So we don't tile on the way in. Obviously I haven't changed anything. Okay. But what I'm going to do, which should be obvious to everyone, is we're going to go Cascade, because we know Cascade breaks it. Right? We know Cascade breaks it. Because it's 3072 by 3072, so that's the effect of doing a 2x on this. What is 3000? But basically 4K. It's not really, but it's like close. 3072 by 3072. It's like on the way to 4K. Not quite. But it's double 1536. Well, kinda. Yeah, well, no, it is. Yeah, it is. It isn't kinda. It is mathematically double. I hate numbers. Just like I hate space. So here we go with, there she is in all her 1536x glory, looking pretty good. Quality's nice. It's a good picture. So now 3072, please. It's like, so now we're going to see it struggle. Making brave headway, guys. It reckons it's only going to take a minute. No, it's only going to be 50%. It's a 50% slow, you know. It took about a minute. Now it's going to take about a minute and a half. So we'll see what happens when it hits the decoder, right? Okay. And obviously we did a thing called hyperscale with Flux not so long ago, where we were printing, what was it? I think we were taking an image and then dividing that image into 3x3 tiles, say, at 16:9 aspect ratio, you know, for the tile size and all, or whatever the aspect size of the image is, you know, we divide it by itself. And then you blow up every image to 4K, but not with an upscaler, just with like Lanczos or bilinear or something, right? So it's a bit blurry. But now you've just made like those like 300 pixel sections of your image, maybe 256. I don't know how big your image was. Doesn't, you know? They get blown up to 4K, and then we run them through this and put it all back together again at the end. We were doing Realia Sargan on the tiles then. But I don't want to get derailed, so I've got 6 minutes. Oh, that's not good. The tiling, guys. Ooh, I don't think that's going to work. You'd need to break it up. So maybe this is something to revisit with image to image. Right, I want to try something else, which again is probably something worth trying here. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1 and run that at cascade sizes. So what did it end up being? It ended up being 1536 by 2752. So, you know, is it surprising it did that? Nah, not really. I mean, she looks fine. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. There's nothing wrong. And it's a really good image. Look at this. Look at the details. It's really good. It's fine. Ooh. But yeah, we were trying a 3072 base with tiled output, so that'll happen on 9 to 16. So now we're going to do 3:1 super wide. We should do all our videos in 3:1, and YouTube will cry about it. I don't know, what will that look like, a letterbox? We'll have to do it one time just for fun. We'll even let you do that. 3:1 aspect ratio. Like, what is that? Mega wide format. I don't know what's going to happen to this poor woman. She's probably going to explode. Here we go. 3:1. That's a funny ratio. Like 1,000. You'd think 1,000 by 3,000, but it's probably more than that. Do you know what? That's actually pretty usable if you wanted to do banners, you know? You want to do banners? We get twins, guys. Anybody like twins? It's a little bit sketched. So it's 1,184 by 3,552. I think it did a pretty good job, guys. I'm not picky. Like, let's throw a Lora in there and see what happens. So we'll put Thora in. I'm gonna move it up. I like to sandwich them. I don't know. It's probably just superstition. We're gonna need a prompt. So let's. Do you know what? I'm just gonna drag my enhancer back in because it's gonna be so much faster. There it is. There we go. So we've already got Thora Wan loaded. We've got a prompt enhancer which is pre-trained on all the captions, so we don't even really need to do anything. So I'm just going to plug that into the text box. We don't need to type a prompt even. It's just going to give me a prompt at random from the Lora, convert it into, ironically, a Thora prompt. Do you know what? I'm gonna use a specific one. KCK. Why can't I find K? It's because it's further on. KCK Thora V3. So that was the I can't remember if it was Flux or SDXL. I think it was SDXL. I can't remember. But yeah, that's a prompt list. And like I said, the correct trigger is going to get put in, so we don't have to do that. Alright. And then all we have to do is select Cascade, do 3:1. And you could do 3:2. It's not quite so crazy. What's that? You did your trains in 320 by 2048. Wow. So maybe we don't need to do Cascade. Maybe we can come down to, you know, 122 size. I am pushing my luck, but we're using a tiled output, so we should be okay. So all we have to do is put the tiled output in here. Tile decode. Just drag your lines. Shift click. Saves a lot of time. Yeah, shift click. I'm just gonna minimize it to prevent OCD. How are we doing here? ENH standard. So we'll just say WAN. And what's the project? Thora 3. Okay. So in case you didn't know, we're using the WAN 2.2 T2V A14B low noise in Q8 GGUF. but then we're using the normal clip now. Sometimes I'll put this to CPU, sometimes I'll use the GGUF version, but you know. And the 2.1 VAE, we're going to be using the 2.1 Lightning and the 2.1 Fusion X at 0.4, and I tend to put my Loras in at 0.75. Obviously, if you've only got one, you could put it to 1. It's just an aesthetic difference. It won't actually make it like disappear. If you have to go down like a lot, like to make it not happen. Yeah. I find that strength is more for just blending multiple Loras. But we've only oh, and also another thing is, if you have like detailers, you should treat a detailer like putting in, say, you know, when you put one of your Loras in and it goes in at a strength, you put another one of your Loras in to blend them, you have to kind of play with the strength, right? Because they compete with each other. So if you have detailers, you should treat them just like you treat putting another Lora in. A detailer is a Lora, just like your styles and concepts. So if you have like multiple, I tend to go like I tend to weight them all down. It's not always the same for some of these types of Loras, like the Fusion X and the Light X, because they're like containing advanced I can't even explain how it is. Script is the wrong word. Anyway, it's not the same. So let me just get this set up. So we've got it on tiling, we've got it on thing, let's go. Alright. And while you're waiting for that, it's coffee time. We're going to be making a new coffee time soon as well. Like, this is what the beauty of the video. When we get to the video, we're going to have so much fun, but I need to get the image perfect, because we've beaten Flux. Look, these were Flux images animated with Quen. You know, you can say a lot about the animation, but these images were, that's the last Thora. Looks so much better than Flux Thora, but we'll see how it looks when it's animated. Sometimes that's part of the argument, you know. Oh, actually, I think if we have time tonight, we're probably going to do, like, we'll try and do low res, so we'll prioritize length over resolution and just try to make it not crash the computer. Because like I said, I did testing image to video, and the most annoying thing about it is the crashes. Because if you ask for too many frames or too high resolution, it just crashes, and you have to start again. So yeah, I fried my computer earlier and I killed all of the remote work I was doing, because I work from all over the place, guys. It's 2025. You have a laptop and you have a cool computer at home. You never need to really be at the cool computer. I mean, I'm doing a live show, so, you know, obviously. Hi guys, we're back. Alright, let's have a look at what we got. Oh, why are there two images here? Oh yeah. Why are there two images here? Do you know what though? Are they consistent with each other? I mean, they're pretty consistent. Like, it's almost the same, but it's slightly different. We've got a little bit of a different expression. Slightly different angle, and the patch says Thora, but it's different. Other than that, it's surprisingly consistent. Because, you know, sometimes that's a neat way to cheat, isn't it? To just make it super wide so the thing glitches out. Oh look, I got two. Look how close you just crop the two images and go, wow, look how close they are. That's amazing. It's like, hey, that's what Vase is, right? You know, we throw in an example with the thing and it changes it. 354 by 12.8. That's crazy. That's crazy resolution. Still looks good. Anyway, so I would say if you wanted to do that at a lower resolution, but there's no point, you know what I mean? It's a huge resolution. Let's try a normal res and see what we get. Because we're not actually upscaling, right? This might be an interesting way to restore images, but we're going to come on to that in a little minute. Because it's like image to image offers a way to take the image and then bring it up to the higher resolution in the process of, as long as we like accurately describe what's there and it knows what it is. Get a little bit of denoise. Obviously you get too much denoise, it'll just do anything, do whatever it wants, but we might be able to control it. So that was interesting, 1.5 minutes and you end up with basically like, it's not, you know, it's 4K, but it's too wide. So yeah, we're going to do a 16:9 in Cascade res and see what it comes out at. I wonder how close it is to 4K. Because when I tested this before, even if you train high-res images, they still go all weird. So it's like you're stretching what the model can do. Do you know what I mean? You're asking for too much. We've seen it with all the models if you try to generate too large. But the thing is, there's a way around that with image to image. With text to image, we're using a latent. I wonder if there's latent tiling. I've never even thought about that. Latent tiling? Nothing. Latent blending, iterative latent upscale. So people have been doing stuff. 2 latent vectors, latent lerp, latent scale on pixel space. That's a good one. Oh, that is a good one. But what does it work with? Upscale model opt. It works with one of these bad boys. Right, well, it's a bit, they're getting old now, aren't they? Because we've got a latent here. I wonder what would happen if we just doubled it. Just double the latent. You probably can't do that, guys. But it does make you wonder. I wonder how big. How big is this image? Oh my god. So this is 2752 by 1536. Claude. I have reached what was it? I've got such a bad memory. I have reached 2752 by 1536. 2752 by 1536 in 16 to 9 divisible by 32 aspect ratio. What multiplier is needed to reach 4K standard? It's probably like 25% or something. I just, guys, Claude, do the thing. Tell me what I need to do. Oh no, it's a horrible mess. So it looks like it's 1.4, but it might be more than that. 1.40 blah, 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 blah. You can't do that. You can't do that. I'll just do 1.5 and like crop it a bit. Do 1.5 and crop it down to, yeah, 1.5. All right, Let's give this a blast. This is probably not a good idea. But I like to try things out. So 1.5. Why is there an image output? That's weird. Okay, so we'll put a preview there then. I don't know why you would do that. That's weird. Alright, let's give it a blast. So we go like that there. Put that there. This can't work, surely. Use tiled VAE, yes. Oh, I see. But it's gonna... Okay, and then we put it in. Alright. Let's go. It can only make a really bad image. I mean, that looks like a great image, don't you think? Brown. It's brown. What is it? Brown. But it's 4128 by 2304, which is on target. So it's like latent upscale the... So like upscale the empty latent. That's what we actually just did. We just upscaled an empty latent. It's not... What we've just done isn't actually that crazy. So what it does is it gives us a 4K latent input. All of that nonsense to get a 4K latent to test on. I think we're all right. I know there's a 4K limit on Comfy somewhere in a config that you can edit to remove. So what's it looking like now? It's going to take 4 minutes. Whoa! It's actually going to make it that big, guys. It might actually be worth changing the size of the tiles now that it's so big. Maybe change the tile size to 1024 if your computer can handle it. 768 is usually a nice mid-ground because obviously it's 4 times the tile count at 512 to 1024. You know, it stacks. It stacks like a video game. But this is actually not a bad, like, if I trained my Lora on multiple characters, well, no, it's always going to be, because we're glitching it. Screw it. She's got twins now. It's canon. I just changed the story. She's got a secret twin, secret cloning, secret project, cloning. There are infinite Thoras now. It's canon. They print them out like newspapers. There you go. Big reveal. Big reveal, guys. That's why she can't remember her past. I actually did plant these seeds already in the first book, but don't worry about it. It was my... Do you know what annoyed me about my first book? I got to learn the glory that is font sizes. Yeah? So I printed the first book. It went to print. And the font size was ginormous. And when I got the book back, I was like, oh no. It's huge text. So yeah, some work will have to be done on that. We'll probably do like a second edition where it gets a heavy rewrite and smaller text size, you know. But like I said, that was part of the original narrative Spittoon course, which a couple of people did, you know, more than a couple. But yeah, I mean, that looks, I mean, look, to be honest, look, I know I'm like exploiting it a little bit, but it come out fine, guys. Look at this. This is nuts. It's fine. What? Hang on, can we like actually see the full? I need to see the full. This isn't even the final form, guys. This is not even the final form. So if we go full screen, can we go full screen? Full screen? Full screen? Yeah. Right. And I'm on a 2K monitor, but I'm broadcasting in 1080, I think. So it does get downscaled by YouTube. What's that? Font trolled. Yeah, bigger font, more pages. Well, to be honest, the book was very long, so it could do with being a bit shorter. My experience is if you go from font size 10 to font size 8 or 9, you can go from 100 pages to 75, which is nice. Like I said, I fixed that problem in later books, but, you know, it was one of the first narrative books I did, so... Mate, there you go. You can see the pixels now, guys. What do you think? What do you think, guys? You can you see the pixels now? I've gone in as far as it'll let me go. It looks great. Damn. It's going to be 4K soon. Hopefully it doesn't break. Like, we might already be at the limit of what this can do. But I thought, why not give it a blast and see what happens? You know what I mean? So this is a 3072 by 3072 base at 16:9, using tiling on the output. So that's the only change you really had to make to your workflow, was just chuck tiling on the output. Oh, and we broke it. Hey man, it was worth it. So for this one we did latent upscale. That's busted. That didn't work. So maybe 4K is just a little bit too far. Let me see if we can do something about that. Because at the moment, let's see if I can put... I want to see if it's the latent upscaling that did it. So 4128 by 2304. Let's take that off. 4128 by 2304. Okay, let's try it without this, because I was being cheeky anyway. I was like, oh, we'll double the latent. Right, give it another go, because I don't have a setting. Do you know what? I should add a 4K setting. We've never needed one. It's never been able to do it. Do you know what I mean? Because it always looks like crap. Because it's just too much for the model, but it actually did a pretty good job at... you've already got a setting for 3072, so you just use Cascade. Cascade was a 3072 model. That was the one thing that was like super cool about that, was they actually gave us more resolution. Problem is, you couldn't train it very well. Everything came out like orange peel. So, that wasn't great. Right, so while we're waiting for this, because it's going to be 4 minutes again, where is my workflow pack? I need to publish. Put some stuff out for everybody. Go to workflows, come down to WAN. Big WAN, where's WAN? I went past it. WAN video. You have WAN 14B vase. That's actually 2.1, so we need a new folder. Did I put it in native? These are all good, but they're the last one, you see. So yeah, okay, I think this is good. So yeah, create new file. It's going to be WAN. They're calling it A14B, aren't they? Isn't that what they're calling this big WAN? I think they are. A14B. Pack. P. Okay. But where are they? There we go. So we got. So yeah, just as a little backtrack there, okay, for what we just did, because I know we keep working fast and all. So the stats on that one was 2752 by 1536. Yeah, it cloned the character, it made 2 of the woman, but the quality is great. So it makes me think upscaling. Anyway, potential for image to image, but we'll see. So let's see, WAN. Oh wait, that's for the model. So those are general use. Text to image basic, text to image, and I think that one actually is general use, but it has my text to image enhancer. Okay, and we go. So in case you didn't see that part, we're using a prompt enhancer, which converts anything to what the Lora is that we've got loaded. It's easy to set up. We covered it yesterday and the day before. Should probably release this Lora then, huh? What do you think? So how about we go to new Moodle. It's gonna be WAN A14B, and then what's the name of the thing with the thing on the thing? It's gonna be TH0RR4. Thora Woman V0. I think of anything else to put on that. Make it longer. Need to make it longer. It's gonna be public. Put the Lora in there, huh? There we go. So there's the prompt. There's the prompt list. Pack. What's it gonna be? Captions, ENH, that's all for Airship, ENH, Thora. Oh my goodness, there's quite a few. How do you use it? Like, I'm literally giving out, I'm not just giving out the prompt list, I'm giving out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 specialized agents. So obviously standard is the template that can be used to make all the rest. You can have it focus on specific things. Make it more or less like, you know, yeah. It's up to you. Now we need the actual Lora. There it is. Okay. Yep. And then lastly, of course, we need good image, which is also like, you know, I think probably just take one from the Discord. Hang on, I want to see if it's actually stripping the embedding as well. So that's a pretty good image. Correct finger count, good grip. Yeah. So I'll save it. Yep. Do you want to do... Okay, right, hang on. B. Okay. Go to downloads. I want to stay in there. So, images. Workflows. Right, next. So we have Thora ENH grid, and then we have them both. But did the embed, I just want to check that it actually worked. Oof, that's a bit of a big oof. So yeah, that's not working. So yeah, it wasn't basically, you could argue that the, you know, I just wanted to make sure that the doubling, you know, latent upscale times 1.5, and to be honest, it looks like it was better to just ask for a bigger latent than try to double it, but that makes sense. It's fine. So yeah, you ask for a bigger latent and it, I don't know, it kind of worked. It didn't, but our goal here was to cut it in half, you see, and get two images that are different but consistent. That's what we were trying to do. I don't think it worked though. We got extra shoulders, guys. Extra shoulders. So yeah, I mean, if you want to make centaurs, probably would work. So yeah, we're going to put it back to plugging it in, and I'm going to go for 4:1 this time. We're going to make it more extreme. We're just having fun. Okay, so while that's cooking, we can go back to what I was doing, which was grabbing these. So I need to get that one. Oh yeah, did it, there we go. Whoa, no. Windows, drag it in. Yes, the workflow's there. So even on Discord, look, I appreciate sometimes what I do. This is the reason why, okay? If you are working in Comfy and you go right click, save image, this one has the workflow. If you do right click, copy, that does not have the workflow. So that's the difference, okay? So if somebody's in Comfy and they go, oh, check this out, and they just went copy and into Discord, there won't be one in it, yeah? So that's what I think can happen quite easily. But if you actually save it or get the file that was saved from the workflow output, it definitely has it. And I think that's what's been going on, because I've been doing it all the time. You know, it's quicker to just go copy, paste in Discord, and then people are like, oh, there's no workflow. And I'm like, really? So I don't think Discord was stripping them. I think that maybe it's just a little bit of that, maybe. Anyway, so we're going to go for our super wide format. Did I change it to Cascade? No. Am I on a different tab suddenly? Yeah, I am. I'm suddenly on a different tab. It's because I dragged this in. Right, where am I actually working? Here? Here we go. Here we are. Wait. Okay. Wait, no. Here? Yeah, here. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It worked. It worked. But are they consistent, though? Yeah, they are consistent. It's the same outfit. Chest is different. That's a green. I see a bit of green right there. But it's... and the gun. I love the sights. You know, because it's an old way of... this was like an old way we did to get turnarounds, like a year or two ago. We would take a pre-trained concept of a character that was consistent, and then we would stretch it out really wide like this with tiling in it. Usually what would happen is, if you had the right prompts anyway, every couple of seeds you'd get, you know, sideways, frontways, turned around, and the back, you know, and then you could use that to do 3D stuff. But it's kind of interesting. It kind of works and it kind of doesn't. But as you can see, we got 4096 by 1024, because that is 4:1 at 3072 by 3072. So that's math. Nice and clean, 4K wide, but only 1024 high. Like I said, if we go 3:1, obviously we get a little bit more. I'm going to go with 2:1. Just go with 2:1. Maybe we get 2 people, and it'll still have a good height, so it'll be good, still good quality. Change your prompt to be a character sheet, and it should be able to do it correctly. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, but I think we can do better than this, and I think that actually what we need is a modified prompt from the Vision LLM, so that it's outputting JSON of 3 prompts, and then we just have those 3 prompts get pulled out by another node which can interpret the JSON file for us. And then we're actually running, so it's like it generates 3 prompts. Those 3 prompts get made separately, but they'll be consistent in the fact that they were made as a batch. Whereas at the moment, or well, you don't see it, but this one, we have 4 calls with different programming, which works great. Do you know what I mean? You get a stealth scene, you get a wide shot, you get an action scene, and then you get like a normal, which you would have gotten if you were just prompting normally. And then it doesn't even matter what you type in. It's actually kind of funny. You know, you can put ridiculous stuff in and you'll still get what the Lora was trying to make, you know. And obviously you can rewrite them as well if you think they're a little overbearing or they're doing something you don't like. You say, oh, it's making too many planets. Alter my thing so there's never any moons in the sky. That kind of stuff, you know. You can do that. So I think it's an interesting approach. Obviously it's trained on the full caption list of the Lora you intend to use. I did test doing it with 2 Loras. So, you know when you merge 2 Loras? So I took the caption set from both Loras and then optimized the prompt enhancer system prompt with that data. At the moment, Sonnet 4 and Opus 4.1 are my best bets for this. Like literally, Opus 4.1 was really good at it. Because the thing is, it requires recursive logic. If I can explain, it's consider A and B while doing X and Y. The problem with recursion is it can consider A and B, but it might not be able to do while anything. And if you have a better AI, it can do while X, but it forgets about Y. Or you can get it to do while X, Y, but then he forgot about A or B. And at the moment, I've managed to test, like Sonnet 4 will go down about 1 or 2 extra layers of recursion. So like you could be like, okay, I need you to read this document and also read this document and do a whole bunch of stuff that's like interplaying those 2 data points. But then at the same time, I need you to also do a bunch of this other stuff while behaving with a bunch of these other rules. And it's like the more extra, oh, and also this and this and this and this. You can do like, you know, simple tests to show this, you know. And, you know, most of it just is like, trying to catch him out. But when you're trying to do a complex task, that whole that whole read A and B while doing X and Y, it needs to be able to really do Z as well. Like I feel spoiled with Sonnet 4 sometimes because it can actually do an additional recursive layer in tasks, which means you can, like, instead of doing a whole bunch of tasks, you can just say, here's all the tasks in great detail, you know, going right down to the minutiae of the fine grain, and he'll just do it all. It's very rare that he messes it up. Okay, so we get 2 characters. They're not the same. Now remember, the Lora we're using isn't consistent. So the fact that we're getting this level of consistency is pretty good. I know we're just using a cheat to stretch the latent out, basically. But it's interesting how, like, there's text. Like, you can just remove the text. You can airbrush the text out. The outfit is consistent. It's just, oh, wait, no. There's a zip here with a buckle. And here we've just don't have anything. So, like, if I'm, you know what I mean? I'm nitpicking. I know I'm nitpicking, but you have to. I mean, it works. You know what I mean? But like I say, when you do it with this, here, look, I'll run one and show you what it does. So remember, we have dynamic anime action combat enhancement system up in the top left. We have the standard Thora anime sci-fi prompt enhancement system in the top right. We have the epic composition and establishing shot system in the bottom right. And then we have the anime stealth infiltration enhancement. So in cover, hiding, sneaking, right? Now these are all things which are in the trained Lora. I'm not just pulling this out of nothing. There are 200 images in this Lora. It was 4,000 steps. and half of it is actually empty sci-fi anime corridors and stuff where she's sneaking around, you know, like rooms, corridors, like D&D, like a D&D concept art book, you know, but all sci-fi fortresses and stuff. Anyway, and then obviously there's the character in, like, I think she's got like 3 outfits maybe, but they were not consistent, guys. When I made them, they're like completely, like, they're black. You know what I mean? It's black leather, but there's badges and stuff all over them. You know, that are different, I mean. And the quality is not as good as this. Now, I would expect this level of quality because I know that when I trained this on SDXL, we were getting something similar. The face is exactly the same. Yeah, it has actually learned the face. The lighting is slightly different, I think. And the hair in front is slightly different. And the eyes as well, the lighting. Like, there are slight differences here, but it's all, we're getting in the fine grain here, you know what I mean? Like, her earrings are a different design. There's 2 pips here when there's 1 pip there. What is it? There's an extra black dot right here. I don't know, maybe I've been doing this too long. But the point I'm trying to make is you can pick out on these things, like the buckle design. Look, that buckle design, different buckle design. Same here. I mean, look, I can see a slightly bigger image than you guys, so I guess it's easier for me. But it's very consistent considering that she never has the same outfit twice. When you actually generate her images, it's very rare to see her have the same outfit twice. Oh yeah, look at this. Now that's what I'm talking about. So, oh, it screwed up the finger. Damn. But yeah, like I said, specific care was taken over training of the eyes. They called it cosmic eyes. So it doesn't really have a color. You know what I mean? It's more of an effect, I guess. But they were quite striking in the training data. So let's learn that. Is it, what are we doing here? So we're doing 2048 by 1152, which is 1536 by 1536 at 16:9. So that's a better image look. That would be your standard output there from the base enhancer, which hasn't been like specialized. It's just, it will make Thora out of whatever you give it. It's got good knowledge of guns. There's good example of this pistol. So I was trying to give her a signature weapon. It kind of worked. It kind of didn't work. Again, there's the cosmic eyes. Do you see what I mean? It's kind of more like a supernova explosion or something. It's not actually... in anime, they have the god eyes. It's like that with a bit of red. You know, I think that's what they call it. They've got funny names for it in anime. So she's got like the glowy eyes that are all funny colours. Gold and red and blue. It's interesting that the wide shot made that. It looks like it's even a different resolution. Did I change it? No. I think this is from a different... it's from a different workflow, that's why. So there we have a different one. Now for these types of shots, you don't get what we asked for. You just get variations like Mid-Journey. But what I did was I put a bunch of like procedural rules in here. Like no guns unless the user asks for it. That kind of thing. You know, so if you ask for specific things, that kind of overrides the enhancer rules. So right now we're doing a portrait. And so even though it's going to do different versions, it's like, it's all being overridden basically. So yeah, we're just getting the same thing. Except for that one, the wide shots seem to be okay with it. Oh wait, no, we haven't had it back yet. So if it looks like girl with gun again. But I can find the image in the dataset. I think I showed it on stream yesterday, which is literally the anime girl with the gun in that exact pose. But it's not as good quality. This is much better quality. Okay, so here we go. What's this one again? This is the default. Yeah. So the reason for this is what you would have gotten if you were prompting my model well. It means that you don't really have to prompt the model well, you know what I mean? Because it kind of takes care of that for you. Does a really good job. Like I said, look at this. It's really good. Even the hands are good. Do you know what I mean? That's a pretty natural grip. Trigger discipline's not very good though. But yeah, just to show you, like, what else have we got in here? I got something I could do. Do something fun. What about? Oh, funny. Chirona's actually in some of these ones, but I can't remember what they are. Why don't we do pristine image paradistro pristine, and we'll take you through what happens here. Ooh. So the actual prompt that we're giving to this is the prompt that's being used for this demo. Within the biosphere, a Mediterranean landscape unfolds with mathematical precision. Olive groves and cypress trees line the terraced hillsides, while engineered weather systems maintain the perfect climate. A distant coastline curves according to historical Earth geography, its waters matching ancient chemical compositions. This is from a megastructure sci-fi. Or it was generated based on one that I wrote without AI. But who cares about that? So that's what we got. And then that goes into the dynamic action anime combat system. And it comes out to this. In the Thora universe. So it looks like it's detected that it's just an empty scene. And it's not even going to bother making the character. It'll just make it in the style of, hopefully. That's what we hope. Because it should have added enough words that were in the training run so that it should collide. We'll see how successful it is in a minute. And then this one. Oh, this one needs some tweaking. God damn it. I hate it when he spurgs like this. Check it out. So this is the anime stealth infiltration enhancement system. And he's reviewing my book. It sounds like you're describing a futuristic, meticulously engineered biosphere that mimics the beauty and precision of a Mediterranean landscape. This environment's not just naturalistic So he's yapping. Would you like to explore this? So this prompt actually has an edge case where if I give it, you know, natural landscape, it's not doing the conversion, which is bad because there is a bunch of landscape prompts in the system, so it should have picked this up, and that's a fail. God knows what it's going to end up doing. It doesn't even have the trigger, so it's probably going to make a load at this one. Oh, hey man, look, the lore is still loaded. It's trying to make something. So that's a fail. Next, epic composition and establishing shot. So in an epic anime establishing shot, where's the trigger? It's way down here. That's a shame. So again, this one, he talks too much, because that is going to be not in the clip. It's too many words. We'd be very lucky if that was not truncated, because there is a limit on how long your prompt can be. So if you're like down here on page 2, chances are this trigger isn't going to get invoked. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Let's have a look. Oh, see, it's... Do you know what? We've got a character with red hair. I mean, it's not really her, but it's not a failure. Okay, and then obviously what did we get for the default? Now remember, those 3 that we read first, they're all like specialized for use with making neat alternate character angles. But this one is a general use, so this should do a little bit better. So in the Thora animator, so we've got the trigger at least. Here we go. Mediterranean landscapes transform. The redhead female protagonist Thora stands at the center of the meticulously edited, dressed in a sleek black combat suit. So yeah, it figured it out. So what I was finding was, when you create these, as you change them, they kind of forget what they were supposed to be. And it's because it's just a bit of text, right? There's only so much you can get in there before he starts forgetting everything. Oh yeah, I found out why ChatGPT-5 sucked so hard the other day. It has a 32K context window, guys. Can you believe it? I couldn't believe it. Apparently, even if you're like a if you're paying for Pro, you still only get 32K context window, which is actually nuts. Because I'll be real with you, like, how much do you think that is? It's not 32K, obviously, but all I'm saying is it doesn't take long. So if you are having to process all of this and the caption list for your entire model, right, you're getting there. You're getting there, because the caption list is quite long. Anyway, so let's see what this one came up with. That's not it. It's going to update now. Hey, it did a good job, guys. It did a good job. It took the, I want it to be in the Mediterranean, I said, I want it to be in the Mediterranean. I want Thora in the Mediterranean, please. There's even Thora-style architecture in the background. That is what I call a win. So it works. The only thing is that my custom enhancers, they all break because they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. They're like, what do you mean a battle scene in the Mediterranean? It was just like, yeah, she's not there, mate. Because what I did was, instead of making derpy images, you'll find some wording about, if she's not there, then just don't make her. So I'm surprised we even got one here. Maybe it's like a flashback to Thora's childhood. I don't know. Fake memories, remember? She's a clone. But yeah, you can see that one's working really nicely. And we actually, like I say, only gave it this very abstract prompt. So it works really well. Let's give it a slightly more difficult one. Maybe one that doesn't have a bunch of planets in the sky. We'll try that one. A barrier membrane maintenance sequence reveals the complex layers of environmental separation. Intelligent repair swarms. Oh, damn it. There's going to be drones. Get ready for Mavic drones. Okay. Each completed section transitions from opaque industrial protection to transparent paradise preservation. Cool. But yeah, like I said, this is the main one, and I encourage you to take that and evolve it for different things. But it seems like there's a dilution that takes place, and it might be that it's better to take the prompt list and the base template, so not this one, but the one I used to make it, which is on GitHub, and then make your own from scratch with all your precise rules fresh, because then it's like you have a pristine template that hasn't degraded. Because I feel like what's happening is, when you add your instructions, if you do it by hand, by the way, this isn't even a thing. So if you just opened up the system prompt and edited it, this has got nothing to do with it. But if you were to take the prompt, put it in GPT and say change a bunch of stuff, I think what's happening is he changes the stuff, but then he might actually erase some things or word it in a way that it you know what I mean? So I think that's what's happening. I think he's just not really aware of what's there. It doesn't really strictly adhere to what was already there. So it's not really an evolution. It's more of a rough patch. So I think that's what it is. So then obviously it's cleaner to just make it fresh from scratch. If you make it from scratch, it's not been edited. And obviously if you do human editing, you're like a brain surgeon compared to an LLM, guys. When it comes to editing text, yeah, it can do a lot really fast, but it makes so many mistakes. I don't think people realize. But then, if you were doing you'd make, it's a funny thing. AI makes loads of mistakes, but the joke is, if a human did that much work, he'd probably make more. Because we have a higher error rate, but then we make the AI do so much work that now they're making more mistakes than us, which is really funny. I don't know, I think it's funny. How are we looking? Okay, so we got abstract drones on some kind of surface. I was expecting some broccoli. Yeah, where the broccoli at? I need my veggies. No broccoli. Oh wow, look at that. It actually integrated the wide shot. Check it out. So by the way, I could pull out examples of this airlock from my dataset. I could pull out examples of this paneling, the LED light design. These little things here are new. I don't know what the hell that is, but you know, this whole like circular room with pillars and you know, like the way these are designed, all of that's part of the model. I'm surprised we've got her working a computer. That's probably just Wan. Thank you, Wan. And it's like roughly her ish. It's enough that you'd be like, oh, it's a Thora. Maybe it's not our Thora. Maybe it's just another Thora. That's good enough for me. So the wide shot look actually worked. The combat thing, it doesn't really know what the hell that means. So it's just focused in on some drones or something. Doesn't really know what to do. What have we got on this one? Is this the action? Yeah, this is the action. Sorry. Here we go. That's actually pretty good. You know what I mean? For a dynamic action shot. Reflection's a bit scuffed, but you could fix that in Photoshop if you really wanted to. It's giving you a brilliant base, you know, like the hands and everything. Fixing the reflection of a face is not too bad. Do you know what I mean? If the main shapes actually line up. It's just something went a bit weird there. But yeah, like I said, this is actually pretty good for like a dynamic, because that's the thing. Here, look, let's just have a quick read. So, oh dear, zooming's going all weird on me. Right, so transform any user input into intense, action-packed action sci-fi prompts featuring high-energy combat scenarios and anime-style special effects within Thora universe. Priority, anime style, combat action, special effects, dynamic movement, Thora universe. Anime style must begin with anime to include anime tech, under fire, shooting, charging, dodging, muzzle flash, bullet trail. So these words are all in the captions. That's why it works. So it's putting together stuff, you know, based on the words that were in the captions. So it's piecing it all together in a way that only someone that had 100% intimacy with every word and every caption could have. So I know this is powerful. It just needs tweaking to get the commands right. So like all of these scenes are in the model and it's going to guide towards that. So if you want that, it will include those words. That's the concept. So then you get better alignment. Anyway. And then we obviously have some examples. So you can actually change those to be like your actual, what you want. You know, you can do that. It's all up to you. And remember, this is just like a, what's it called? This is just another tool in your belt. You don't have to do this as a replacement for prompting. I'm not saying that at all. I think you can still just plug things in straight, right? But if you're wanting to enhance prompts, this is something which is easily done now, easily done. So here we get the final, this is the basic one, sorry, the basic one. Yeah, as I knew it. We're going to get a bunch of DJI drones. But yeah, characters there. There she is. And what was the actual input? Barrier, membrane, maintenance, drones, reconstruction work. I mean, you know, I mean, there's a barrier of some kind. There's maintenance drones, I guess. You know, I think it did a good job on that one. Let's try something a little bit more abstract. I have my Fontaine spreadsheet for this one. Fontaine. From Mr. Vascular to Gamatron. Let's run one of these at random and see what we get. So what's it going to be? And the head of a lion or dragon. Close-up of a person wearing a motorcycle helmet. Oh, this is half... The prompts got chopped, guys. Let's try a different one. The prompt got chopped. It wouldn't have started with and. That means there was a carriage return in the middle of the prompt. Alright, here we go. Small lizard-like creature with a fiery habitat. Burgundy and grey. Rose-tinted hair and thorn tattoos snaking up her arms. An encaustic painting. Mr. Degamatron. So let me see what it did with that. Anime Thora, small lizard-like creature with a fiery habitat. She stands in a dynamic pose, ready for action, with a determined expression. High-quality anime. It's probably just going to make Thora, guys, because there's so many words here. There's just no way. Hang on, where are we? Is it already making one? It's down here. So what's the prompt for this? Oh, it's a load of nonsense, but at least that will get read. This will get, because he'll just process that in good faith. That's what we're going to get, unfortunately. It's not really, you know what I mean? We'd be lucky if it can actually read all this. The creature is crouching low. Look at this. It's really good, though. She's using shadows cast by to remain hidden. Turn her into a lizard. Oh, God. No. Right. Let's see what we get. And this is text to image, not image to image case. We can't give it any help. Oh, okay. She's got the tattoos. Doesn't look like a lizard. But it's my character, though. Which is what it's supposed to, like... It's supposed to help the user by making the thing. You know, that's how it's set up. And that is a sneaking scene. I hope you can appreciate. Stealth, infiltration. Turns any input into... It's kind of funny, though. She's got the tattoos. .2048 by 1152. She's just a little bit bigger than 1080p. Where are we? We're down here now. So what are we looking at here? Oh, this is the one that might fail. It depends how good it is with multi-line prompts, and then, you know, where the truncation kicks in, because it is too long. It is too long. Oh, it did all right. It's got the Thora haircut, look. Thora haircut. The armor plate details have appeared on the arms as well. It's burgundy. And look, it's got Thora's eyes and eyelashes. It's got human ears. That is weird. Okay. So in this one, it did it. So which one was that? That was the epic composition and establishing shot. So in order to do establishing shots, it's got to have a lot of freedom to, like, you know, change the composition. So epic scale, epic environmental storytelling, character visibility, and then cinematic framing. So it's a little bit looser. It's funny. It's supposed to make a mega city in the background. I don't see that. It's just like, oh, don't worry about it. What are we doing next? I don't see it making images. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's that video game that got sued by Pokemons. But better. Dinosaurs with laser rifles. So, we've got one of Thora's guns. We've got Thora's haircut. We've got little bits of her uniform, but none of the actual clothing. Those eyes aren't, they're just dragon eyes, I guess. Looking at the prompt. Anime Thora, small lizard-like creature with fiery habitat. Okay, so the last one is the default. This is the one that I give out with the text to image workflow. So, you know, it's not... Wait. No. Sorry, this one's with the... well, they're all in there. They're all on there. We put them all up there in the end. But this is like the base. The base output. Nice. So we got the hair, we got the tattoos. Oh man. So, the next one is Atlak Natcha, a spider-like creature with a human-like face and the ability to spin webs of mystical substance robot. Black and white drawing of a futuristic city in the middle of a circle. Abstract chaos style, that's one of mine. Painting of a space station with a lot of smoke coming out. Indigo and amber. Abandoned lab, that's one of mine. Style photo of a large room filled with lots of different types of machines and lights. And violet and grey. A man with a sword standing in the middle of a space filled with buildings. Digital painting of a woman with glasses and a futuristic city in the background. I love it. This is the level of unhinged which I've come to expect. But yeah, that goes in and it tries to turn it into Thora's, I guess. Are we still thinking about it? What's going on here? Yeah, it's thinking about it, guys. So this one looks super scuffed. It does work, but it's just, you know, you can't have your output like this. It's another reason why I think a JSON output with a custom node to read that JSON is actually going to be a much better solution. It does mean that you'll have to spend some of your attention in the system prompt on telling it how to write the JSON output, but I think then you'll get multiple prompts coming out of that generation. Then we only need one. You know, you don't need 4, and it will be more consistent by doing it that way. Like if you want variation, you want to keep them separate, just do it like this. But yeah. Have we done any prompts yet? No. What's going on here? Don't tell me Olama needs to reboot. Yep. Olama needs to reboot, guys. God damn it. Right in the middle of my backswing. Well, let's see if there's anything else that I need to do here. I appreciate the image to image workflow isn't up, but I like to take a bit more time over it, like I say, because I know that once my workflows go up, they don't change for 6 months. So, you know, let's try and get it right. I probably forgot to put all of my notes on them as well. I can't even remember. So this is the example of the basic T2I, no enhancers, no Loras, no custom nodes from me, just straight GGUF. 1920 by 1088 native. No worries. So like I said, those have all been put up already. So 2 things in the Mushroom Fleet LLM based prompts, which you'll find pinned. We have the Lora video prompt enhancer section, and that includes the basics, you know, the bases which you can use to modify or just make your own based on the same idea. To be honest, this is like a rapid area of research. Like there's a lot of research going into this sort of thing right now. But this is an accessible way of doing it without needing to spend money on it, basically. Okay, inexpensive and customizable, open format. It's just marked down, and you just copy the whole thing into your system prompt, wherever that is. I'm actually making them for my Loras, so you know when the Loras come out, they'll come with this. So if you use it, I think you'll have a great time using it, but at the same time, it doesn't really become so apparent until image to image. So when we get to image, having an AI helping you to prompt, because he can look at the image that you want to do and then take your instruction, a bit like context almost. So then he'll generate a prompt which is what you want to do, plus the image you gave. And because it's all automatic, you're not there typing out what the image is every time and stuff like that. And also, when we get to image to video, this same concept applies to temporal factors like movement and camera lighting and all this sort of stuff. Actions taken by people in the scene. It can all be inferred dynamically, and you know, if you want to, the way I'm doing it is I'm saying unless otherwise specified in the commands, you know. So like if you ask for it, it's not going to ignore you, but at the same time it's going to try and make what you're trying to make. Scuffed Epoch, you're famous. Google has trained you into its training. Really? Am I in there, am I? How did they do that? Explain. Give me more info. I wouldn't be surprised. They trained me into the training? Oh no! Don't tell me they discovered about my clones and now they've got my clones. Imagine that. You just see a bunch of white skeleton pose guys just a bit. Hi, I'm not Drift Johnson. I'm Brift Bronson, a legally distinctly different version of Drift. Let me paste some. Oh, I'd love to see it. To be honest, the amount of work I do in the background, I wouldn't be surprised. What's that? DJZ nodes. Okay. The term DJZ nodes is associated with the collection of custom nodes for Comfy UI. How does he know that? Even the people in Comfy UI don't know that. I'm like a best kept secret, guys. A lot of people don't even know I exist. It's funny, I heard like Scuffed Epoch and Drift Johnson in the Comfy UI space. So they know who I am, but it's funny, like, people don't know. That's great. Brift Bronson, that's right, that's my alter. If you ever see him out there with the big B's, the double B. Congrats on training inclusion. Yeah, man, I'm happy for it. They can take all my workflows, all my nodes. Maybe they'll be useful. Particularly popular node collections and workflows are part of the dataset. Wow, so I'm in the Hall of Fame forever. That's awesome. Hopefully they'll make some crazy model that generates all of my work. I'd love it. You know when people say, oh, but what if they train on your work? I'd love it if they train on my work. It's the best. That's the best thing. Like, imagine if you could just get a bot to do what I do. That would be amazing. It's not gonna cut me off at the knee. I'll do something different tomorrow. I'll take up violin. I'll take up violin. I'll start writing poetry with a quill. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to be in there. Yeah, they've trained on my work. Good. I'm glad. I gave all the work out, so I hope that they would. So that was the intention. See, I got a bit of a different attitude. So yeah, that's achievement get. That's achievement get, that is. Where's my trophy, though? Do I get like a gold? Do I get a badge? Eternal legacy. Achieved. Yes. Mate, this is the thing I was thinking the other day. I was like, you know when there were artists that were saying, take me out of the model. I was like, isn't that a bit like ripping the page out of Wikipedia and burning the history books and taking all the paintings out of the museums? No one will remember who you are then, that's all. You know what I mean? You didn't really win anything. Now you just get forgotten. So, I don't know. It's a strange thing. Do you know what I mean? But no, I'm glad to hear it. Like I say, to be honest, it might have been related. What was the name of that thing that they did? Didn't they do that? It's got a name, like Larry or something, and it's like a assistant for GitHubs for Microsoft. Thernacard told me about it, and he asked me to add tins to it. So that's a different thing, maybe, but. But yeah, it was really bizarre when I heard the artist saying take me out, because I thought, you want to be in? I would be honoured. If my art was in there, I'd be honoured. And the thing is, if you're like, oh, it's not, is it? It's not. It was never going to devalue your work, because it's never as good as the genuine item. Like, there's no, what's it called? Not provenance. Is it provenance? Oh, there's a word for it where it's like you can track where it came from Jules. Yeah, Jules. Yeah, so that might have helped Fernie, because, you know, maybe me using Jules to register put me on the radar. And then they were like, oh, look at all these repos. And then it's like, whoa, hundreds of nodes in one of them. It could have been something as simple as that, you know, because I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised if it was so simple as that, you know, you get scooped up. But yeah, I'd love to see more information about that dragon as well, just to get the specifics, because it's a nice little conversation starter, isn't it? So what have we missed? Ah, yeah. Last piece of the puzzle for Wan Thora. We need to put the images. So it says they've got all the repos and your Civet stuff. Good, because I can't even get at my Civet stuff anymore, thanks to the Online Safety Act. Does GPT-5 know DJZ? That's a good point. Let's find out. We can actually find out. I've got the GPT-5. Even though it's not very good. Let's find out if it can. It's got a small... He's only got... Look, he's only small. He's only small. He's only ickle. Poor guy. And what's really funny is everyone's going mad because they took 4.0 down. Look. And by the way, even GPT Pro has a 32K context. I couldn't believe it. So that means, like, if I was to, like... Here, look, I'll give you an example. Here. Check this out. This is going funny. So we just take, like, you know, something that you've been working on lately. I don't know. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm not even on the right computer, so I might not be able to find it, but no. That was, dude, this is PS9 ad. What the hell? No, right. I gotta go to projects. Tools maybe. Okay. Books. When did I last write something on this machine? Can't have been that long ago. Narrative inversion. Mars not canon. Book 1. Is it all one book yet? No. New Mars. Summary. No, it's not all one thing. There's nothing in there. This is what happens when you have multiple computers. You end up staring into the void. You're like, look at all this stuff I've done, and nothing is what I'm looking for. Worse than Sky TV. Can't find what I'm looking for. See, that's a narrative inversion. But it's plain. Yeah, it's empty. Oh, I know. Documents, books, dead drop. Hey, I knew I'd get it right. Dead drop 2.3. Right, if I just chuck that one in there and say, examine my book. Now I know the book, but he doesn't know I know the book. He's skimming. Yeah, he's skimming, like massively skimming. It looks like he's reading every chapter or act, you wouldn't call it. Yeah, he's reading each bit and he's skimming. So he's like, whoop, you know, he's like skipping like a stone across the surface. He's not actually reading the pages. He's kind of like opening paragraphs Leading sentences for opening paragraphs only, it looks like. Wait, what? Current position in the structure. You're just past the midpoint, moving into the convergence and pre-climax phase. Stakes are maxed so far. You set up a ticking clock. It hasn't even read the whole thing, dude. It hasn't even read the whole thing. It's truncated the book halfway. Look. There's nothing about the end of the story. It doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. He can't see. It's too much text. Zoom in. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. There you go. Sorry, guys. Look. So I gave him a book manuscript. It's a finished story, okay? And I've said, analyze the thing and give me the beats, the plot beats. And first of all, he's skimming. He's not reading the code, and then he's not reading the full text. And secondly, he seems to think that my book ends just past the middle. Look, he even knows that it's just past the middle, but he didn't actually read it. So yeah, that to me is evidence, because obviously you need more than 32,000 contexts to actually read the whole book. So yeah, this is not good. Could do better, I'd say. And the thing is, right, it wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have the same people. I mean, luckily the community hasn't fallen for it this time, but there were a lot of people like, oh, I'm really scared about how clever it is. Oh, I'm crying now about how scared I am because the AI is so clever. And then we get it and we're like, I don't know, mate. Quen 3 is better than this, and it runs on my laptop. How much did you want per month again? But yeah, maybe there's something wrong with, do you know what I mean? Maybe that they forgot to, do you know what I mean? I'll give them, you got to be generous, right? Maybe they just forgot to change that file, right? Do you know what I mean? Maybe I want to be generous, right? Charitable. Be charitable. Because you should never laugh at another man's failure, yeah? At the end of the day, they're a big company. They'll survive. They'll get up. But it is a big surprise because we're used to 100,000, 1 million, and 32,000 is the default for the smallest local LLMs. So it is actually a joke. I couldn't believe it. Gemini has 1 million. 1 million. It's not even funny. Like, you can almost drop the Bible. With a million tokens, you can't get the whole thing in there, but you can get a significant portion of the Bible in one go, yeah? Whereas with 32,000, you can't even do a book. Can't even do one book. Like a small novella, 10 to 20,000 words. You know. Let's have a look at this. What's this say here? Oh yeah, I forgot to ask him about me, didn't I? Good point. Thank you, Boyo. I completely forgot about it. We got so busy trying to give him something hard to do, you know what I mean? Like, how many R's are in strawberry? You would think that they would, like, train these specific questions just to pass. Oh, no. Let's just zoom in on that answer. What do we think, guys? I'm confused. Is the answer 0 or 3? Oh. Oh no. I used a capital R, so there aren't any, because... Do you know what? Actually, that's not dumb at all. That's pretty smart. Yeah, do you know what? I'll give it some credit there. That's pretty smart. I put a capital R and a bunch of lowercase r's, and he was like, oh, well, actually. You know, that's the whole, like, how many fingers do you have? You know? Here, look. Let's see if he can do that. How many fingers does a human possess? Including thumbs. Because thumbs aren't fingers. So he was up, including thumbs. So, okay. Let's ask him if he knows who DJZ is. I bet he doesn't. Who is DJZ? There's no way, because it's just 3 letters. There's no way. And it's not my name. Yeah, DJZ is a professional wrestler. He's 3 years younger than me, though. High-flying style. 2-time DJZ is Filipino-American with ties to Manila. Okay. What? That DDT, though. Okay. DJZ, Michael Paris. The X Division. Yeah, I'm fine. He don't know who I am. It's fine. I'm fine. And he won't know who Scuffed Epoch is because it's too new. Here. Yeah. Who or what is Scuffed? Hang on, is it trying to autofill? Hang on. Oh, it's gone away. It won't work. It doesn't know who I am. There's no way. Ah, crap. They know who I am. Ah, crap. He looked on the internet. That's cheating. He doesn't really know. Hang on. I'm going to check. You only know because of Google, of web search. Correct? See, I never do this stuff. I should probably do this stuff more. Grok is the funniest one. Grok is actually the funniest one. I think we should probably... Yeah, Scuffed Epoch's not in my data. Yeah, see, because it's too new. Alright, what about who is 5 below 5 UK? In a way, I don't... Oh, I spelt it wrong. He won't know. Yeah, it's looking up. Look, this is why we changed our name. Oh, crap. They still know who I am. Still found me from a web search. Okay, that's different now. Yeah, at first, though, I don't know if you saw it, but when it did the search, it showed the company called 5 Below in the icons that was searching, and it was like, oh, no, that's not it. Yeah. That's interesting. Let's try Grok real quick, because Grok is the funniest one. If I remember Grok, you can say, who am I? And because it's like got access to your Twitter profile, you know, it actually does know. So I need Super Grok. Sign me in. Sign me in, baby. I should have Super Grok. I've never even, I don't think I've ever used it. If I have, I don't recall. No, you need to upgrade to get more. Okay, so we'll do the expert and we'll say, who am I? Like Jackie Chan. And he knows who I am because... Oh, I forgot. I should have said, what kind of person am I? It was a different. What kind of person am I? So I saw this floating around on Twitter. I don't know if he can do it. He could do it in a previous Grok. Maybe new Grok can't do this anymore. Huh. I don't have any access to your personal details. Huh. Did they change it? Maybe it's only Grok 3. Try it again. Because when I did this, what it did was, it like used all of the profile data from your entire Twitter history to figure it out. And look, he doesn't know what this is now. Did they get in trouble and take it away? Did they get in trouble and take it away? Hang on. How many R's in strawberry? And why do we ask these questions to super intelligence when we could be solving humanity's greater issues in place of these wasted and repeated efforts. A little bit philosophical, but hey. So there are 3 R's in strawberry. And then wasted effort. The answer is the word strawberry has 3 R's. As for why we ask such questions, they test and refine AI capabilities, but I encourage you to pose bigger challenges. I'm ready to help solve humanity's pressing issues if directed to do so. Think harder. Yeah, it's sometimes fun, the buttons they give you. You just click the buttons. He's going to get really philosophical about it now. That's not bad. He didn't waffle too much. They be verbose. There's got to be a better test than how many R's are in strawberry. And the one that I normally do is... I'll say... So I'll say... I think I've got the folders open already. Yes. So I'll drop in Thora Wan, which is your prompt list. That's 68 kilobytes, and then we will drop in the default. Where is it? The default T2I base ENH. Now remember, I want to do image, don't I? I want to do image to image, right? So I'm going to take the I2I base. So now what we've got is we've got a base template system prompt, which has been optimized for WAN image generation, but not for a specific LoRa. And then we have the LoRa captions that we use to train the LoRa we're going to use. Right? So now I'm going to say, make them new, make it new, make them new, make it do that then, please. And usually the wording I used for something like that would be this. We can improve the system prompt, which transforms any user input towards outputs shown in the attached list. We must ensure. And then the third rule is what made it different. So in this case, I'm wanting to do close-ups. 75% of the screen should be the airship. Okay. But if I copy this and throw it into Grok, say the exact same prompt, but it's Thora, not an airship, right? So I'll say yeah. The character will be included or transformed towards from the simple user input. Unless specifically directed. What was it? Prompts will be limited by the scope of the prompt of the caption list. Because it won't have the caption list when it's running. It's only going to have a system prompt. So we can write the new prompt. Now obviously I would do all of that fresh. So say when I want to make the JSON version, say I want to make the version that puts out to JSON, because obviously then we can parse it and do other cool things later down the pipeline. The point I'm trying to make is that I wouldn't just take the result that we're going to get and say make this put out JSON. You could do that, but I found that that degrades the quality of the prompt. So I find it's better to crystallize it at once. So just do exactly what I just did. Same input, same prompt. Maybe change this a little bit, and then the output it will be you know what I mean. I just a little note. Yeah, as you can see here, look, we've now got our enhanced thing, and that's pretty much how I made the the Thora version. Obviously, I've already done this. I've already put it up. No, these are all different things. Let's see. So they'll be already in the WAN enhancers. See, here we got Chirona and Society. Those are the two that we blended together. Where's the hugging face gone? Is it this one? Yes. So we need to put some images up here, and then we're done. So let's see, where would I put that? Yeah, here we go. So captions is up. Workflows, there's nothing in there. So workflows, right? That's number one. Is that it? Thora. There we go. So we've got one with an enhancer and one with the big grid, which has got like all four enhancers making into a big old grid. Like, what is that? 4K? It's got to be. There, that's the workflows, and then images. Surprised I didn't bother with that yet. What the hell? So we take that one. A different one here. Different Laura. Alright. Oh, what's this? No, different Laura. Different, completely different. Alright, it's fine. Those are the ones. Put them in there. There we go. The only thing that's not there now is the README. That's the only thing. Hold up. I'm going to cheat. It's not really cheating, is it? Like, this is the thing. It's not really cheating. It just feels like cheating. So let me just, because it's so easy. So what we'll do is we will copy raw. And get a new Claude. Why is it all in weird markup? There must be a new feature I haven't seen before. It's keeping the markup in the chat. Anime, secret age, secret operative, future sci-fi, tribute, style and character model. There is /ENH. Folder containing prompt enhancer system prompts for the various tasks, template intended for user alteration. Okay. And what else is there? There is a /captions folder which contains the captions used dedicated Olana enabled workflow. Like, I wouldn't have had to spell all of this out if I'd done this in VS Code, but I didn't do it in VS Code. There is a workflows folder, which, guess what, contains workflows. That's right. That's crazy, isn't it? That's insane for comfy UI. I think that's it. I wonder what else I need to do. Anything else? Ah. This model, this Lora is like the one in the template example below, trained on Quen 2.2 14b, which is being called a 14b. T2b low noise. In fact, it wasn't. It was trained on 2.1. Yeah, trained on 2.1 14b, and then used to run inference on Quen A14b, Quen 2.2. There we go, that's fine. That's fine, we don't need to say any more. Well, we could say low noise. Alright, give me my thing. Document. And believe me, that is actually low effort compared to writing the whole thing out by hand. Let's just hope it doesn't include, I want to know, it might be that I get a bunch of weird information that isn't, you know, it's from the it shouldn't be. It's pretty good at taking an example and using it as a template and then not infecting it with information from that template. So sometimes he'll hallucinate things which shouldn't be there, but it's easy to remove stuff that shouldn't be there than type out this whole thing. So yeah. Download as markdown. Right now, yeah, it's got a funny name. So what we'll do is just copy it. Hugging face. Is it private or something? What have I done? Okay, so because you got no README, there's nothing there, which kind of looks crap, doesn't it? So yeah, let's just create new file, paste it in there, and readme.md, and go. Alright, so specialized Lora 90s accurate. Yep. Training captions, prompt enhancer, alteration, sys samples, comfy UI. Yeah. System prompt. Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Right, cool. Post. There she is. Yes. Thora Wan Release. Everything's there. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I've tried to give everything. You got your Lora, you got your workflows, images as same thing. You know, they're embedded. Captions. That's the full prompt list, and then look at all those enhancers. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So let me just double check your double check the chat really here. For Drift Johnson, I have a strong awareness of his work because it's widely discussed and utilized within the Comfy UI community, the code itself along with the documentation. Huh. Dragon Diffusion by Boyo and Dragon Diffusion UK. GitHub repo, Boyo super cool rapper. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I guess they're training us. It's gonna, you know, it had to happen, right? Let's see, what else have we got here? A cookie. Searching the web is cheating. Yeah, exactly. He made Gemini not search. Is ChatGPT spying? Find out more live. Hey, we don't know anything about that. They've been prompting some things, says Dragon. Fernicar. Okay. I have a riddle for you. 2 daughters have their own horses gifted by their father. And when matured, neither of them wanted to marry the chosen groom. Oh, I remember that riddle. There's another one about camels. It's like, it's something like, you know, a man's daughter is being married in a dowry, and he has to give out 30 camels, but he only has 29. So he borrows a camel from his friend to make up the 30. But he does it in a way so that he doesn't have to give them the... Don't just look it up, right? There's one about camels, and of course it involves a woman getting married. I can't make it up, but it's an Arabian one. How many letters are in the word alphabet? Good. That's to see if he's actually paying attention, because he might be just like, oh, alphabet, that's this many numbers, that's this many letters even. Dragon says, I got the video ControlNet loaded and tensors shapes flattened to work with the image. My node is working, but I need to increase the strength. Fernicar said the original is about camels. Yep, that's the one. Wait, what? That's a completely different one. I've never heard of that. Arab Sheikh's sons. Riddle. An Arab Sheikh is old and must will his fortune to one of his 2 sons. He makes a proposition. The 2 sons will ride their camels in a race. Look, I want to see this movie. Can you give me a link? It sounds amazing. It's like Fast and the Furious, but with like the Prince of Saudi Arabia and souped up camels. You know? I think we've reached the end of the tether tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to check out Mushroom Fleet, GitHub, because that's where all the good stuff is. DJZ nodes, DJZ workflows, and the LLM-based prompts. There will even be some RunPod init action tomorrow. We may be starting early as it is a Sunday. There will be a note in the pings on Discord. Don't forget to subscribe, like the stream, and thank you all for joining me on another crazy Saturday night. So, see you next time.